Hey, how's it going? Checking in for today, progress and thoughts on moving things forwards within my goals around speaking. Today I spent a really productive, in a sort of mental shifts kind of way, with a coach and friend of mine, Heather. And we have these sort of Heather and George days 2 or 3 times a year. And as I said, we that was today. And we kind of focus on helping each other, sort of coaching each other through various challenges and sticking points. And I always find them very sort of uplifting and energizing, but also incredibly, well, productive. I use the word productive not because we got loads of work done, but because, well, I certainly, and I think we both did, managed to make some significant shifts in our thinking. So it's productive from a sort of a mindset perspective. Some of the things that are really quite hard to do by yourself. And much as I like to think I can kind of coach myself, I know the value of having somebody else to ask me challenging questions and to ask for clarification on what it is that I mean. And then I obviously return the favor, and we work both ways. So we've got a kind of a cool little system going on, and it worked really well today. And one of the things that I wanted to get really clear about was my label, my box, sort of reconnecting with my purpose, really getting clarity on what my purpose is, especially around the speaking, but kind of everything, because I've evolved so much over the years in terms of what I do. I've been through kind of as a personal trainer almost 20 years ago. Well, 20 years ago I was a gym instructor whilst I was finishing off my degree. And then when I left with my engineering masters, I went and started off as a personal trainer. So I've had that as a label. I've been a boot camp coach. I've been a lecturer on personal training diploma courses. So I've had lots of different labels over the years. But the last sort of 7 or 8 years, it's become more and more challenging to really nail down what it is that I do. And it hasn't really been a huge problem in the sense that I don't want to be put into a box, and therefore there is no box that can adequately describe what it is that I do. But at the same time, I've also found that not having a clear way of articulating who I am and what I do makes it difficult for me to fully tell my story and help people understand. And if actually somebody wants to describe me and tell other people what I do, then actually if I can't do it, then how should they be able to do it? And that became really clear to me a couple of days ago, where a friend of mine was doing a Facebook Live, and I popped onto it, and he said hello on the live, and I said hello back on the comments, and he said, "Oh, it's George. He's a mentor and he's a inspiration." And then he said, Not really sure what it is that he does, but he does it very well." And then he kind of went on, and I wasn't offended in any way by that, but it did make me realize that even kind of my friends don't know what it is that I do. So it really did focus my attention on that. And so I decided that that was one of the things I wanted to get some clarity on. And actually, it was quite straightforward. We kind of got there right at the end of the day. I was probably there for about 6 hours. And 5.5 hours into it, we started to really kind of dig into this topic. And it kind of centered around, in terms of kind of who I am and what is it that I do when I have to describe myself. Kind of comes back to the word expert, specifically well-being and performance expert. And I think probably even just 3 years ago, but 4 years ago plus, I would have really struggled with sitting with the word expert as a descriptor, a self-given descriptor of who I am and what I do. It doesn't really say what I do, but it's kind of who I am. It's my job title, if you will. But now I sort of really am happy to sit with that and to own it, because I feel like I've got the track record, I've got the 2 decades of experience, I've got the qualifications, I've got the kind of physical structures. I do this every single day, not just the kind of honing my own skills, but working with clients, working with individuals, helping people better understand their own emotions and make positive changes so that they can thrive more in their lives. And that kind of really brings me back to what my purpose is, which is something I've been very clear on for a long time. And again, this came from another Heather and George day way back several years ago now, which is to inspire people so that they can take action, so that they can thrive more in their lives. And it's that inspire to take action to thrive that has been the driving force behind everything that I do and all the decisions. It's been a really useful filter as a sort of a self-declared purpose. But what's been helpful today is getting some clarity on sort of the box I would put myself in, which is this box of being a well-being and performance expert, but also then the way I do that. And I've always focused on the way that I do things, and the way I do that, is as a coach, as a speaker, as an author, as a community curator. Now, they're just the things that I do. I also have done retreats. I have run mastermind programs. I have run group coaching sessions. I have been a personal trainer. I have been a bootcamp coach and a lecturer. I've done all those things, and they've all been towards the same aim. And I'm sure that there are other things that I can do and will do in the future. But ultimately, I'm still a well-being and performance expert, and I have a message that anybody is capable of thriving more in their lives if they take time and pay attention to their physical well-being, and they don't have to do it all. And these are all part of the messages that I've got and underpin all of the programs, all of the work that I do, and they're the things that I share in the various kind of vehicles that I deliver that information in, whether it's coaching or speaking. And so it was a really kind of everything was already there, and as is normally the case with coaching, I wasn't told anything new, but it was the opportunity to explore some existing ideas and to put them into a way that kind of made sense to me. And actually, when I think, well, what's the practical ramification of all this? It's unleashing or unlocking my whatever has been holding me back from telling my story, from kind of owning what it is that I do, from putting my stake in the ground and saying, you know what, I am an expert in this. Because what I can guarantee, when I step on a stage and I'm in front of an audience, I feel like the damn expert. And I know that I'm an expert because I know what I'm talking about. But there are also times when I'm looking at what other people are saying, and on social media in particular, that I think, you know what, my view's different to that. And I start to kind of play small. So it's really has been today a case of stepping it up and deciding that I've just got to get this message, these messages out there, have more impact, because that's a big driving force for me as well, to have an impact, to make a difference in as many people's lives as possible, and to do that with integrity and authenticity. And that's something that I've just kind of chucked in at the end there, but that's also clearly an important thing for me. And if you've watched any of these videos, this is a long, rambling 8 minutes so far account of what has been a significant 6-hour coaching day. But actually what I've taken away and what I've just tried to articulate there it's been unscripted, because it's in me. It's a part of my understanding now, and hopefully it's going to come across semi-articulate, but I understand it, and I've got some stuff written down, and there's more writing to be done, more clarity to be gained on this. But I feel excited and liberated, and looking forward to sort of getting out there tomorrow and just putting some of these ideas, some of these thoughts, some of this energy out into the real world and having that impact that I really, really want to have. So anyway, there are a couple of other things that have come up from today as well, which I'll share in another video, but this is already one of the longest check-ins that I've done, so I'll finish it there. But if you've watched to the end, thank you very much. You might as well give it a like now if you have got this far. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and as always, return back tomorrow for another daily update. Bye for now.